If I'm on your FYP, congratulations. I'm your new Tia. I'm fixing to show you how to make some homemade tortillas. These are my credentials, right here. It's puffing all the way. So hit that follow button, and come on, let's go. You've got your flour. I'm just using all-purpose flour. This is what my grandma used to use, so that's what I'm gonna use today. Baking powder. You don't have to use this, you can if you want to. Salt. This is what I'm using. If this isn't what you use, that's fine. I'm teaching other people what I use. You want your fat. You need some kind of oil, lard, fat, whatever. This is what I'm using. This is amor, manteca. And then you need your water. I've got 3 cups right here. Am I gonna use it all? No, but I'm gonna try to get y'all as close of a guesstimate as I can on how much water I use, because it varies each and every time. You wanna use a little more, a little less. It just depends on what the weather's like, what the exchange rate's like in China to the US. You never know. So we're gonna go ahead and start heating this up. You want it to be warm water. It doesn't have to be hot. You don't want it to start cooking your tortillas before you're even done rolling them out. 4 cups of flour. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Don't put this away quite yet. Then you want about a teaspoon of baking powder. Normally, I just put it on my hand and measure it like that. People always have a question about, well, how do you know how much is a teaspoon? Look at that. Almost exactly a teaspoon. 1 teaspoon baking powder. Same thing for your salt. You want about 1 teaspoon of salt. That's how much I have left over. It's not very much at all. And you just want to mix that up. You need to use both hands, use both hands. When it comes to your lard, about that much. How much is this? It's about 1/2 cup. If you want to get precise, fill up your cup. There we go, about 1/2 cup. Then just put that in there and incorporate that into your flour. A lot of people think that they need to make their lard creamy before they add it in. You don't have to, it's optional. Some people like to, do it. If that's how you grew up doing it, then do it. For your fat, you can use whatever kind of fat you want. You can use bacon grease, you can use oil, you can use manteca like I'm using, you can use butter, you can use heavy whipping cream, you can use buttermilk, you can use regular milk, evaporated milk, whatever, it doesn't matter. You just need something with fat in it, because that helps keep your tortillas together. Then you just want to amasarlo muy bien. There's no one right way of making tortillas, and there is a wrong way, but there's no one right way of making tortillas. Once you've got your fat incorporated in your flour, get you a big pinch like that, and if it sticks together and then crumbles apart really easily like sand, you'll know it's ready. Again, I'm starting with 3 cups of water. I'm not going to use it all. I'm just going to make a little well in my masa. You don't have to, you can just pour it straight in there. And I'm going to add a little bit in, and then I'm going to start throwing my flour into that water. I'm going to give it a couple of pinches just like that, and then I'm going to add a little more water. And again, throw your masa around. You're not really trying to incorporate everything all at once. You just want to get your flour wet. Once you're able to get a little bit and make a ball with it inside your masa, then just start moving it around like that. Add in your water little by little. You can always add more water. You can never take it out once you've added too much. Now you just want to start working that in a little bit. Once your masa starts forming like this, be very careful about the amount of water that you add in. You only want about a teaspoon at a time. In total, that was about 1.5 cups of water that I just added. Now you just want to knead this until you no longer have masa on your hands. Scrape the sides of your bowl, and if it feels really aguada or really wet, just keep kneading it. Once your masa is no longer sticking to your hands, grab just a small little pinch of flour and put it on your dry surface. And you just want to knead this for about 5 to 10 minutes. But Tia, what does the kneading part do? The kneading helps mix those ingredients in to make sure that everything is well incorporated. It also helps to relax the gluten. I still don't understand, Tia. I don't get it. All right, imagine you have a stick that you found in the yard. You try to break that stick with your hands. What happens? It breaks really, really easily. Stick that same stick in some water. Let that stick sit and soak up in that water, and then try to break it. What happens? It doesn't crack. It bends. Same premise with your masa. You want to give that gluten time to get malleable. That gluten is the stick. When you add the water to it, it relaxes it and it allows it to bend. We're bending our gluten in essence. Just an analogy for you to go by, for you to better visualize it. If you added too much water to your masa, stretch it. Incorporate some air into it. You can also beat it on your surface. After 5 minutes of kneading, go ahead and form this into a ball, just like that. Then grab your bowl and put that in there. Then get some plastic wrap, fight with the dang thing, and cover that up. You want to make sure that there's no air touching your masa. You want to allow that gluten to continue to release. Once she's nice and tucked in, grab a towel and put that over it. And just let that sit for about 15 to 20 minutes. After your masa has rested for a minute, go ahead and take the plastic off. Then sprinkle just a little bit of flour on your working surface and put your masa right on there. I like to knead mine just a little bit to where it forms a tube. Then you just want to start sectioning out your little dough balls. Big do you want them to be? That's completely up to you. Depends on what you're cooking. If you want big burritos, make them big. If you want little street tacos, make them small. You can roll them on your table, so that way you have a smooth surface all the way around. Or you can do like my mom does. You get your dough ball and then slowly start pushing the rough edges towards the center. This part that's touching your palm should stay smooth. This takes too long, so I like to just roll mine out like that. Don't show my mom this video because she'll spank me still. Then just get those and throw those in your bowl. Get your plastic wrap and cover these up. We need to let our comal heat up, and we need to let that gluten relax just a little bit more since we did work it a little bit. So just cover those back up and allow that to rest for about 10 minutes or until your comal is hot. My burner goes from 1 to 9, and I've got mine set at 4, 4.5, somewhere around there, and I'm using a cast iron comal or griddle. You can use whatever kind of griddle you want to. Get your little ball, throw a little bit of flour on your working surface, and then put your ball inside of your flour as well, and just give that a small little light coat. Put it on your working surface, smash it down, give it a flip, and then smash it again. You want to start in the middle and roll out. Rotate it about 90 degrees and do the same thing. And you just want to keep doing this until you can start to see a very light pattern from your working surface start to poke through your tortilla. Does it have to be perfectly round? No, it eats the same. What are we not gonna do? We're not gonna go around it and cut off the excess with the pizza cutter. Show people your imperfections. It is okay to be imperfect. And it's okay to make non-perfect tortillas. If people want to criticize the way that you're making your tortillas, snatch that motherfucker away from them and say you can't have any. Just continue to roll this out. Once you've got your tortilla rolled out all the way, go ahead and lay it on your comal. Then you want to wait about 15 to 20 seconds. Let that start to blister up. And then give it a flip. Let that cook for another 15 to 20 seconds. And give it another flip. Once it gets done puffing like that, you'll know it's ready. That's what the back looks like.